Math Humans. We're going to do B1 today. We're going to be talking about functions and primarily what is a function. So our objectives are that we're going to compare a relation and a function and then input versus output. So a definition, a relation in math is a set of ordered pairs. Sorry, my computer got weird. So it is a set of ordered pairs describing a relationship between numbers. And for us, primarily right now, it might be x, y. So a relation might be, and don't laugh at my really creative numbers, 3, 4, and then 5, 6. The little squiggly brackets on the end mean that it is a set, and then these are ordered pairs of x and y. A function is a special type of relation, and so it is a relation where every x is unique, meaning it is the only one of its kind. So it also means that x values can't repeat. They have to be standalone values, okay? So for particular information, if I looked at this relation, my x's are 1, 3, and 5, so this relation would be a function. X is going to be called our independent variable, and an independent variable means that I can have no impact on the variable. I can't change the value. So typically an example would be time. I can't change or manipulate time, so time would be the independent variable, and if we're graphing, it would be on the x-axis, okay? Y is the dependent variable, meaning that whatever y does, it depends on x, and so the y-axis would be here. And I know this is all review. You've been doing this for a really long time, but we just want to make sure that we go back and cover up the details. Example number 1, we're going to be given t is equal to time, and it's going to be in minutes. They often include the units. And then I'm going to have a table, and d is going to be the distance, and it's going to be in meters. Okay? The values of my table are going to be 0 and 0, 10 and 500, 20 and 1,000, and 30 and 1,500. And yes, you would need to write this information down because if I write it, I tend to remember it. So I want to know which of these two are going to represent input, which means that we need to go back and talk about our independent variable. The independent variable is going to be input, and the dependent variable is going to be output, okay? So that means then, if I want to know what is the input, well, because this is the independent variable, because I can't change time, then my input is going to be time, or t, and then the units are going to be minutes. And most of this information is usually given. You just have to read it from the table that's given. The next question is going to be, what is the output? Okay. In this particular case, my output is going to be distance. The variable is d, and then its units are going to be meters. Okay. So the next question would be, or one of the next tasks that you're asked to do is to convert these to ordered pairs. So remember that an ordered pair is always going to be the independent variable and then the dependent variable. So it's always going to be x, y, or in this particular example, it's going to be t and then distance. So if I turned my table into ordered pairs, my ordered pairs would be 0, 0, 10, 500, 20, 1,000, and then the last one would be 30 and 1,500. The only reason for turning them into ordered pairs is that if I am graphing, it's a little bit easier not to mix up your numbers, okay? If we still keep going with this particular example, I'm going to go to a different page since you already have that information written down. We know that distance is a function of time, okay? So it would say d of t, okay, using our function notation is, and then I would have an equation of some type that's in terms of t, okay? So distance is a function of time, so I would write it, d of t is equal to, and then I would have some equation that is written in terms of t. Alrighty? I would point out that time is not a function of distance. And if you think about this with independent and dependent, or input and output, okay, D is the output, T is the input. So a function can't be in terms of the input, it has to be in terms of the output. So another way that you're used to seeing it would be f of x. Maybe it says it's x plus 3. X is the input, f of x is the output, which would be, so in this particular situation, D is considered the output and T is the input. And remember, that also means that it is the independent variable, and then your output is your dependent variable. Okay? Alrighty, so just a little bit of vocabulary. So that's it for today. Really pretty straightforward. Just a reminder of math that you've done in the past. Remember that you need to write everything down, and then you need to scan your notes with your Notes app, and then you need to upload it straight into Canvas. I recommend that you do it the day that it's assigned so that you don't get behind on your videos. Alrighty, that is it for today. We will see you soon.